Good morning, Otters!
Thank you for joining in on this special Otter Morning News Edition.
Today is Veterans Day, Monday, November 11th. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing for the IB pledge.
Today I pledge to do my best for myself and my school. I will listen and learn, I will contribute and work hard, and I will always treat others with respect.
What is Veterans Day? Check it out.
November 11th is Veterans Day. Americans honor veterans, people who have served or currently serve in the U.S. military. What makes November 11th special? On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month in 1918, the battles of World War I ended. The Allied countries and Germany called a truce, also known as an armistice, and November 11th became known as Armistice Day. The following year, President Woodrow Wilson asked Americans to mark the anniversary of Armistice Day with a moment of silence in gratitude to the soldiers who had fought for peace. Americans did that and more. They held parades and other gatherings all across the country to publicly thank the World War I veterans. In 1954, Congress changed the holiday's name from Armistice Day to Veterans Day to recognize all soldiers who serve in war or peace. Today, there are more than 23 million veterans in the United States.
Let's take it to 5th grade student Andrew, who is sitting with veteran Mr. Haynes.
Good morning, I'm Andrew and I'm with Harrison Hayes, who is a veteran, and he is going to share with us information about Veterans Day. What does Veterans Day mean?
Well, Veterans Day is to honor all of the veterans from the very first war, which we won our independence, all the way through the War of 1812 and the Civil War and the World War I and World War II, and then the Korean War and the Vietnam War and the Iraq Wars. We've had millions of young men not only go to fight, but millions have died for the freedom of our country. And this is to recognize those many million people who've been willing to preserve our freedoms and our way of life.
Where and when did you serve, and what branch did you serve in?
Well, I served from March of 1952 until February of 1954. And I went on, and I was with the 25th Infantry Division, 69th Field Artillery Battalion, as both a forward observer for the artillery and as an air observer. And I had 89 combat missions into North Korea. Pork Chop Hill was the most famous, and that's what this little medal is for right here, the air medal. Right, yeah, and it, with the Oak Leaf Cluster, meant I had 89 missions into North Korea. Well, and the first post I had was across from Hill 1080, also called Papasan, and the North Koreans were on this hill. And so my first mission on Thanksgiving Day in 1952 was to call in registration, is what they call it, with the artillery, and then dropped a battalion, which is 18 howitzers worth of ammunition on the hill when the troops were going down at night. War is not a pleasant thing.
Why did you want to serve?
Well, all of us back then after World War II were very strong patriots. We all wanted to fight for our country. I was in college at the University of Oklahoma when the Korean War started in 1950. I got a letter from the Department of Army, said, would you like to go into advanced ROTC and be deferred from the war? If you don't, why, you can go right now. I decided to finish my college career in advanced ROTC. As I say, had those 89 air missions, and glad to be home and to celebrate Veterans Day.
Thank you for Mr. Hayes for sharing your experience. We appreciate your service.
You're very welcome, Andrew. I was glad to do it, and nice to share it with you today. Thank you.
Did you know that student council raises and take down the flag each day? Let's check it out.
When you fold the flag, you have to double fold it, and then you do triangles to flip it.
And the flag can never touch the ground.
Never ever. And then when they finish doing the flag, they hold it tight.
James, a 5th grade student in Spanish dual language class, is a veteran's son. Let's hear from him.
My dad is an amazing person because he risked his life fighting in the war to save other people he didn't even know. Even though he missed my family, he cared enough to protect yours. While we all slept comfortably in our beds, he slept in the desert. Coolest thing is he survived. I'm very happy to have an amazing military dad. He's honest, shows integrity, and respect to the USA. While other people read books about heroes, I actually live with one. I want to be a Marine just like my dad when I grow up. I'm so proud of my dad, Luis Lugo.
Did you know that HHIE's very own Mr. Spencer is a veteran? Let's check out his interview with 4th grade student Nazari.
My name is Nazari, and I'd like to welcome Mr. Spencer, our favorite sub. I have a couple questions about Veterans Day. I hear you are a veteran. What war did you serve? Can you tell us a little about the war?
Yes, I can. Thank you, Nazari. I'm really excited to be here with you today and with all of our other Otter students so I can explain a little bit about Veterans Day. Yes, I am a veteran of the Vietnam War. I served my country there for 1 year during a conflict, and then, of course, I came back home. The war was unfortunate. We lost over 58,000 men and women in that war.
That's a lot.
Indeed it is.
How can we celebrate Veterans Day?
And it's really a day, Nazari, to celebrate all of the men and women who over the years have served our country by being in the military. This would include those who have fallen, as well as all other veterans and the sacrifices that they make to help keep our country safe.
What could we do to honor our veterans?
If you're out shopping or you're going someplace and you see somebody who's wearing a baseball cap that says, "I'm a veteran," you might go up to that person and say, "Thank you for your service." And I got to tell you, we all appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Spencer, for sharing about Veterans Day. We thank you for your service.
Well, thank you, Nazari, and once again, I appreciate being with you.
We hope you enjoyed our special Veterans Day Auto Morning News Show. I'm Jaden.
And I'm Kendra.
Have
Have a great day, Otters, and don't forget to thank a veteran.